Hello, 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 people. Hey, everyone. Let's see who is online here. Try telling your viewers about badges or telling your followers that you've started a live video. Awesome, 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 awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just got back from a workout. It's like 100 degrees, over 100 degrees here in Tennessee right now. And I had the bright idea to go for this outdoor workout, and I literally feel dehydrated. So I'm drinking a protein shake to recuperate, and I'm going to teach you guys some key items that you should be considering this month because it's the month of August. And it's exactly what I believe IMG should be doing in August if you're applying in September, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Daisy, Siri, Madhu, Varsha. Okay, great. I see a lot of people in the room. Hi, Dr. Simply Steady. Lizda, okay. Sharonda, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to be getting my protein in while I teach this lesson. So the key things that every IMG should be doing this month, okay? We're going to get into it. But before that, if you remember quite all right, earlier this year, I created a calendar for you. As an IMG, I took the time to write down what I remember wishing I knew and put it in a calendar form. And some of you still have never downloaded that calendar, okay? It is available on drlum.com on the home page. You just scroll down and there's a link there to download the calendar. So I recommend that after this session, you go ahead and you download that calendar so you know exactly what's coming. So we're going to go by the calendar because we're not going to reinvent stuff, okay? It's already here. It's been available to you. This is the month of August, all right? It's the same calendar where I took your recommendations for the month of July. All right. So on the calendar, I had some key items on there, and then I have some notes on my iPad. So I'll be looking at both places. Now, because it's because it's August. July, I hope you've completed your personal statement. That was your assignment for July. And if you haven't, you're running late. What I want you to do is to write your personal statement and set it aside so you can focus on keep item number 1, researching programs. This is your key month. You want to have a list of programs that you're going to be going for, meaning you're going to be sending them your application. You're going to be applying, whether it's your primary specialty or your backup specialty. This is the time to create programs, because if you haven't written your personal statement, you can't be doing everything at one time. That's a recipe for failure. It's a recipe for disaster. So you need to have a plan. Your plan for July was your personal statement. This time, you're going to spend this month filling out your you're going to spend this month first researching programs. Now, there's a very easy way to research programs. I used it when I was a resident. It's called Match a Resident, and you can go on their website and get a list of programs, and make sure you use IMG Roadmap 15 for a discount. Okay. You're also going to not only buy a list, but you're going to look at the requirements and see whether you fit into those requirements, right? Because you want to make sure that you find a program that you are eligible for, visa requirement, non-visa requirement, score requirement. So you look at the fine print, all right? The next item you're going to do this month is you're going to begin filling out your ERAS form. So those of you that are part of the IMG Roadmap course, you got an email today that says August 26th is our meeting for this month. And during that session, one of you volunteered, actually a couple of you volunteered, and we picked Vasuda randomly. And so she will be presenting, we'll have her ERAS application open, and we'll fill it out together during that session. What that means is you get access to see how I would coach you to fill out your ERAS application, and then you can follow that. And you can have yours open as well. You can call in and then have yours open on a computer, however you want to do it. But that's August 26th at 6 p.m. for everyone that's enrolled in the IMG Roadmap. And if you're not in the IMG Roadmap and you want to be a part, you could definitely send me a DM. Just say coaching and send me a DM, and I'll get you that information. So that is your second item. So the first item was researching programs. The second item is filling out the ERAS form, so your application form online, all right? And this is something that you can fill and save. You can download it as a PDF. You can review it again in pen and paper, because more often than not, programs don't review your application on a computer. That's like too many applications. Sometimes they print it out, they print out the PDF, and they hold it in hand and read through and make notes and, scratch off or put in the pile that gets invited for interview. So it's good to print it out and have it in hand so you can look through it and say, okay, if someone's reading this, does it flow? Does it make sense? And how do I present myself, right? This month also, like I mentioned, my IMG Roadmap School, we're going to be doing our ERAS form filling out online. We'll be filling it out live so you can see how you can do your own. You can bring your own forms to class, whatever you want to do. So the next item that you're going to do this month, okay, is you're going to ask, and again, this is on the calendar, all right? It's on the IMG Roadmap calendar on my website for free, all right? I'm also going to post about it again tomorrow because I know we need this information and we need to say it over and over again. Oh, by the way, guys, so Instagram has put a thing on here, badges, and it's telling me, try telling your viewers about badges. So apparently you can support my show by clicking on a badge and supporting the badge, okay? So that's just a tip for those of you who are feeling lucky today. Go ahead and click on badges, and then that way Instagram will let me continue my life. All right, so the next thing you're going to do, the third thing, is you're going to ask your advisors, your mentors, your coach to review your application so that they can give you feedback, right? Because you want to have feedback on your plan. And then you also need to meet with them to have a plan if you don't already have one. And what I mean by plan, what I mean by a plan is creating a list of programs, researching those programs, okay, or buying the list like I've mentioned, researching those programs, and then creating your plan A and a plan B, all right? I'm very realistic. The match is competitive. There's always more people applying than the number of spots available. So it's always good to have a plan B. Like plan A is specialty 1, plan B could be a preliminary, whatever the case for you, okay? And then this month, there are going to be so many virtual conferences as well. So you want to make sure that you are keeping abreast with the organizations that back up the specialty you're interested in, because you don't want to miss their residency fair. You don't want to miss their Q&A sessions. You don't want to miss informational sessions like what I'm sharing with you right now. You don't want to miss the sessions. But if you're not registered, if you're not on those people's email list, you're not going to get any information. They're not going to come knocking on your door like, hey, here's the information. So you want to make sure that you are keeping abreast with your specialty organizations. And then you're going to register for NRMP between now and September, because NRMP is different from ERAS. NRMP is a match, and that is a separate program. And that's another key item people forget. Like, matching is an algorithm. What you need to be focused on, your most important task, is getting interviews. That is your most important task, because matching is not in your hands. It's your interview that's in your hands. How your performance and interviews in your hands. Everything else is left up to the algorithm. So register for NRMP, most important. Obviously that excludes if you get a pre-match, okay? So I see some questions on there, and you can leave questions in the question box. We'll take them at the end. Now, I've given you 3 things. Who can tell me the 3 things I've said before I even continue? Because I'm not going to be talking on deaf ears. If you're listening and you're taking action on what I'm saying, tell me right now the 3 things I've said that you should be doing this month. There are 3 of them already. And I have 2 more, but I'm not going to say it until I see some responses. So can somebody tell me what I've been saying? Okay, well, no comments. I guess the IG life is over then, because nobody's able to tell me what I've been saying. So the first thing is researching programs, all right, and creating your list or buying your list, like using a service that makes it easier for you, cuts down the time you'd spend searching on your own, but you still need to do the second level review, making sure that you as an individual is eligible. The second thing is completing or filling out your ERAS CV. And those who are part of the IMG Roadmap program know that we're going to have a session on the 26th of August at 6 p.m. where we'll fill out live an ERAS CV, so you can see one of our students will be using her as a demo. And you come prepared. You should fill out your form before you come to class, so that when we're going over the form, what you're doing is you're editing your form, okay? And if you want to be a part of that or want to be a part of our program, just send me a DM, say coaching, and I'll get it to you. So the next thing, which is, so research programs, developing a list, beginning your ERAS CV, register for NRMP. The next thing, talk to your mentors, your coaches, your advisors about your plan. So your plan A, your plan B, what's your backup, right? And then after that, if you haven't already sent out your LOR request, this is the best time to do it. So you get together your email, or start calling call some of these letter writers. Some people are busy. They have other things going on, okay? Right now, people are busy. It's summer. They're out with their families. There's kids about to go to school. Your letter writer may be very well willing to write your letter, but they're just very busy. So you need to reach out to them and call them. Ask them what's going, reach out. Say, hey, just a reminder, TikTok, whatever. If you're in that hospital, buy coffee. Go over there with a cup of coffee. Say, hey, I just brought you a cup of coffee. Just wanted to see, where you're at with my letter. All right. So those are little things that you can do. Now, attend conferences virtually or in person if available. Obviously, with the Delta variant going wild, or now the Gamma variant, we need to be careful. But that being said, there are several virtual conferences, okay? And the only way you know is by being a part of that organization. And now, there's so much more that I can share with you, but I want to talk about this key point, your internal peace. Your mental health needs to be protected this month, because you're going to be a ball of anxiety if you don't have a plan around this, okay? You're going to be a ball of anxiety when September comes by, so it should be no surprise. You don't want to be caught unaware that you're so anxious or having trouble with being able to focus or being able to stay calm. This is part of the process. So begin to prepare yourself. I do that by praying, by exercising, by resting, and really by cutting out things that are distractions for me, okay? So you need to figure out how you're going to maintain your mental health during this season. And you may want to incorporate a morning routine. You may want to incorporate a prayer routine. You may want to incorporate an exercise routine so that you help counteract that stress. So you're releasing some good endorphins, okay? So when the anxiety comes, you have an outlet, okay? So those are just some key items. Our meeting is August 26th for those of you in the IMG Roadmap class. Let's see if we have any questions here. Any advice for getting research positions without prior experience? So research positions, I have a live video on it. You can check out my IGTV and you'll be able to see my live video on that. So NRMP research mentors. Okay, now your responses are coming through. I guess I needed to refresh the screen. I was surprised. I was like, nobody was paying attention, but now I see your responses. Great. Maria is online. Rashid. Okay. Anushka says search programs, NRMP registration, begin filling out the form. And then I've also added the key points of your mental health is important. This is very, very important. So do whatever you need to do to stay sane. Working out, prayers, faith, those things do realign you internally. They help you settle in your inner self and be less obsessed or less anxious with the entire process. So Elena says, can you guide me how to do a surgery rotation in the US in affordable prices, because they're very expensive and I have no connections? Elena, send me a DM, and in that DM, just say surgical electives or something like that, and I will get back to you. How do you join? Professor MS says, how do you join the associations? You go to Google. If you're interested in internal medicine, for example, you go to Google and you type in internal medicine organization, and you find out that there's an American Academy of every specialty. So you can also type in American Academy of whatever specialty, fill in the blanks. You can type American Academy of Facial Plastic Surgery, and it will bring up suggestions of different organizations. So that's how you do it. And most of them have discounted rates for students, international members. Some of them have international memberships. So that way you're now enrolled in their organization and you can stay abreast on so much more. That is, you can stay abreast on their research information. You can stay abreast on so much more. So Saida is asking, can you talk about your EM fellowship? That's a separate live. It will be on another day. Today we're focusing on you as an IMG and your path into residency. I'm interested in this, or maybe an OB fellowship. Okay, yes. So I'll do a separate video for that. This live, I want to keep it focused. I want to keep it concise, and I want to keep it to the topic, which was regarding residency application. My fellowship is going well. It's a 12-month fellowship. I'm 1 month in. I enjoy it. It's an academic center. It's a level 1 trauma center. I'm learning a lot. My focuses are broad, including point of care ultrasound, procedural training, and I'm getting all of that here. So I'll do a detailed video on the fellowship at another day, but I want to make sure we capture questions regarding ERAS if possible. All right. Does doing a PhD in neuroscience match in neurology? You don't need to do a PhD in neuroscience to match in neurology, no. Neurology was actually one of the top 5 IMG friendly programs in the past 2 years, especially for non-US IMGs. So you don't need to do a PhD. Like, honestly, you don't need to be doing more degrees thinking that that's going to help you be more competitive. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. Unless you're tying it in or you're already doing it because you have an interest in it and you can tie it in. It's not required, but if you come in with a story of why you love neuroscience and neurology, that makes you look good. It makes you look seriously interested in the specialty, but it's not a requirement. So don't get those mixed up. Guide on filling out ERAS, please. So like I mentioned, August 26th at 6 p.m., all my IMG Roadmap students, we're meeting in our private group to fill out the ERAS form. You fill it out now however way that you want, and then when you come to class, we will correct it. So yeah, writing things out on a separate Word document and copy pasting helps organize responses, or even just filling it out and then downloading the PDF. Just put it on there and download the PDF, and then when you download the PDF, you just go ahead and fill it out. That's really all that it is. Should we leave out clinical rotations on ERAS since we'll have it? If you are in a Caribbean medical school, you can leave out your rotations because your MSPE will contain that. The difference is some people are in non-Caribbean schools. You're in a 7-year track in another country, for example, and what ends up happening is you have to fill out your rotations because they were not part of your education. So if you have an MSPE, you can go ahead and allow your MSPE to describe your rotations. If you don't have that, then you can fill it out. So as far as filling out your ERAS form, there's also another webinar that I did earlier this year. I'll share that. Last year I shared my webinar on literally walking through filling out the ERAS form. I shared it about late August, September, but that will be right before my class. My students get first priority. So they're going to get all that info first. Is the IMG Roadmap group still open? Yes, we are. Just send me a direct message if you're interested. We are still open. May 3 says, do IMGs need to get letter of evaluation for medical school for IM? That is a good question. So recently, the Alliance of Internal Medicine just created a proposal document to start requesting a standardized letter of evaluation for internal medicine aspirants. Okay. So what that means is for internal medicine aspirants, they're looking at going toward a standardized letter of evaluation, and they want to implement that even through the cycle. But one of the things that I read, which if you go on their website, you'll find it, and just Google Alliance of Internal Medicine Educators or something like that. I don't have the name of it. But you can actually Google internal medicine standard letter of evaluation, and it will come up. And there's a sample on their website. Okay, there's a sample of the letter and what it looks like. There's a frequently asked questions section, and it looks like moving forward, that's going to come into, it's going to become part of the IM world. And their goal really is to make sure that they're finding the right fits for the specialty. And so, it has questions that your preceptor or faculty of internal medicine would have to fill out about your performance during a rotation. So definitely something to look out for. It's called, I think, Alliance of Internal Medicine. Let me check out that website really quickly so I can tell you the right thing. But let's see if we have any other questions here. If not, we'll call it an evening. This was supposed to be a short live. Yes, the live will be saved on my profile. OBGYN is also doing a slowie. That is correct. So that website is AAIM, Alliance of Academic Internal Medicine. That's really what it's called, Alliance of Academic Internal Medicine. So go on there and you'll be able to download all the information, a sample, an FAQ, and all of that. So let's see if there are any questions in the box. All right, so we've answered all the questions. I hope you guys have a good time. And if you need any help or have any questions, just send me a DM. My webinar on filling out ERAS applications will come out after my students get first dibs, okay? But go ahead and DM me with any additional questions that you have. And if you want to be a part of the IMG roadmap, it's not too late. You can always join us. Just send me a DM about it, and I'll give you all that information as well. All right. Thank you, guys. And I don't see any questions. So, ERAS photos. Yeah, so for ERAS photos, it's really not that serious. Just make sure you get professional headshots. Okay, wear a suit. I usually say you wear a suit like you would in a real interview, even if it's virtual. Minimal jewelry, obviously have a nice face, like clean face. You could wear makeup if you want. If you wear makeup on the daily, you wear it. Make sure your hair is well done. And for those of you that feel like, you can't have natural hair, you can, okay? This is 2021. You can have whatever kind of hair that is your real hair or not your real hair. Whatever you choose is fine. Just make sure that you look clean and professional. Most people go to like JCPenney or Walgreens and get their professional pictures done, and that's pretty much it. So our ERAS live webinar is August 26th at 6 p.m. If you have questions, you can DM me. Okay, so I think that is it for now. I don't see any other questions that have gone unanswered. All right, thank you guys, and I hope you have a great evening. Bye.